All right, Vandy fans, get excited about this new offense with Tim Beck and Nate Johnson. We're gonna dive into it. We're gonna break it down and tell you why it's exciting here on the Locked On Vandy podcast. Let's get it.
You are Locked On Vandy, your daily podcast on the Vanderbilt Commodores, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome into the Locked On Vandy podcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm your host, Corey Burton. Thanks for making Locked On Vandy your first listen each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube as a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, guys. We hope, speaking of every day, we hope you become everydayers here on the Locked On Vandy podcast. We have a great fan base. It's untapped, really. So we're hitting some new frontiers here. And speaking of new frontiers, man, we got a great episode. Tim Beck does a phenomenal job at mixing things up, finding ways to create space for explosive plays. And here we are. We're going to tell you why. So what I did, a little backstory before we dive into the meat of it. I watched some things on Tim Beck, and I watched some New Mexico State clips and things and tried to find some of their more explosive plays. And, you know, I being the coaching nerd that I am, former offensive coordinator, coach at Vanderbilt, things like that, or not. I'm not a coach at Vanderbilt, Innsworth. I mean, I went into huddle. I picked out two plays that I thought were really, really pivotal. One pass, one run, that kind of give you an idea of kind of where Tim Beck is at now. I diagrammed those, and I'm going to present those to you here today. So we're going to start with our pass play. And keep in mind, a lot of what makes New Mexico State's offense run is the threat of the quarterback run. So a lot of things they do off of their zone reads, their jet power reads, things like that. We're going to continue this every so often as we go. As they add pieces, we'll show you how those pieces will be integrated into the new scheme by showing you New Mexico State clips and hopefully and eventually Vanderbilt clips as we get into spring ball. So here we go. All right, first play is this. All right, it's the deep cross. They put a 2x2 formation. They put the Z and Y receivers into the boundary and spread out the X and T to the field, or whatever you want to call these players. But they did a good job of really stretching the field horizontally on the right side. This clip was against I believe it was against Jacksonville State. That's what it was. Okay, yeah. This particular play was against Jacksonville State. Now, what he does a good job of is he does a good job of putting guys in the cylinder of the defense in binds, right? The Mike linebacker and this field safety here. Now they're in a too high look right here with where they're going to be playing man underneath, and they're going to be playing what we call cover two man. So protection up front is pretty solid. They're going to slide this thing to the field, preferably slide it to where he's looking. They're going to send the back. They're going to token fake it and do a little off center drop here towards the field, and they're going to protect they're going to protect the left side with the left guard, left tackle, and the back. So the route concept is this. Now, these linebackers, because New Mexico State has been so good at running the ball, these linebackers actually in this clip, they do step up. He steps in, they step up, and then they see things flying at him. This Mike sees this coming at him. He gets confused when he sees this coming at him. The Will gets confused. This free safety and corner, they kind of get confused on how they're going to pattern match this thing. So let's start with this shot right here. So what the quarterback is going to look for, we're going to call this an alert route because we have two alerts here. This is you look out there and you see me guarding this guy. And, okay, well, we're going to take that, obviously. But this is meant to just be a clear out. It's going to clear the safety out. It's going to clear out this zone right here. It's called a mandatory outside release. If he releases inside, it muddies up this read right here. So he's going to do a mandatory outside release, right? Our other alert route, we're going to check our surface. If we know they're in man, we have a chance to hit a free access speed out, about a 6-yard speed out. So we know we have free access to that if we think they're going to play man, or even more so press man, because this corner is going to run with them and this space is going to open up. So in this particular clip, they don't hit this, but this is also would be in an alert check. All right. But your main concept is going to be right here, right? You have a deep sit and you have what I call a climb route. So it looks like a drag. And as soon as you clear the Mike linebacker, you climb immediately and push vertical almost. So what we're trying to do, what they're trying to do is they're trying to put this guy in a bind. You see these two arrows right here. They're trying to put him in a bind. He's got to decide, right? If he sees this coming, he wants to jump this. Well, he can't cover both. He's what the way this coverage works is he's responsible for this because the corner's got to chase, right? Number one goes, corner's got to chase. Free safety hops on number two, and tries to jump this out route. And the safety does a good job of jumping this out route, actually. But the safety's responsible here. They pattern match this thing. They read number two, and they'll pass off. Sometimes they'll pass off based on based on the releases that number two goes. But corner chases, free safety jumps here. So the corner chases, he gets caught in this traffic. Now, this is a great pick route. This is a great coverage route. And this was hit, I think, middle of the field. I was going to say like middle of the field, like between the 40s probably. And it was hit for a really big play for New Mexico State. So they get this underneath this out route and they climb it, right? Linebackers are lost, right? They see run and then they try to get back in their zones and there's bodies flying everywhere. They don't know which way to go. So they don't know how to play this. Well, as soon as he climbs over this mic is definitely lost, right? This safety sees him release immediately to him. He gets up underneath Sam. Sam reacts to the run, so he's able to get by, and he just sits. So what the safety does is sees immediate threat coming at him. He sinks to this. Now, he jumps this like it's the last helicopter out of Saigon, right? He jumps this thing like he's about to be an All-American. He's about to make this play, and he's about to pick six this to the house, right? Wrong. This guy pops open on the other side. Quarterback has a lot of poise, is getting a little bit of pressure, not much, but has a lot of poise to deliver this ball on a rope, on a strike to the Z receiver coming across. Now, what I love about this concept is it's a deep mesh concept. You have a built-in alert. You have a clear out, which can also serve as an alert depending on who this guy is or what this guy is doing. At the SEC level, you're probably never going to hit this, unless this is like Randy Moss or somebody. You're probably not going to take this deep shot on the more. You're probably going to work the middle right here, or you're going to work the quick, easy access throw. A lot of times this corner will pass off and sink, and this free safety will try to jump that, and he'll stay home and play the field more. But in this scenario, this safety bites on the deep sit, and then they end up hitting this for a big play before he gets tackled by the corner. So very, very good and very good imaginative pass play here, the deep cross, the deep mesh, and I really like what this does. And this kind of shows off the quarterback's ability, and this doesn't take a ton. I mean, you got one read essentially, right? You got a pre-snap read, which if he likes it, come off and throw it. If he doesn't, which Diego Pava doesn't like it for New Mexico State, and more power to him, he doesn't like it, so he just lets it go, and he just reads field safety, right? He reads field safety 1 to 2, right? He reads field safety 1 to 2. So it's a simple read for a redshirt freshman coming in, not quite understanding all the reads and not quite understanding everything possible that there is there. But this is a great concept for a quarterback that can be set up by the run. So it's a token play action fake, pulls the linebackers in, makes things a little bit more clear right here on this field safety. All right. The next play is a run. Okay. Now, what New Mexico State does a really good job of, what Tim Beck does with his schemes does a really good job of, is putting people in motion and creating space for himself to hit a big play here. And this was against MTSU in a game where points were at a premium, yards were at a premium. So they're playing field position here. They get locked into what looks like is going to be an SEC type game. So they just run a simple G scheme here. Now, I haven't seen a G scheme in quite some time. This is pretty fascinating here that they're still using the G scheme, which is to some people antiquated. But what they do is they put a little bit of window dressing on it. See, they go 21 personnel. They have call it a weak set, but they have the fullback, the other back lined up to the weak side, away from the tight end, which is considered the weak side. You have a back in the pistol. You have a off the ball receiver spread out, he's trying to create space here because the ball's on the left hash. You have the field receiver here trying to create as much space as possible, trying to make it tough on this Sam right here trying to make it tough on him to decide, okay, how much space do I give him? But with a down tight end, probably not going to get much out of him, but he's at least going to pull this corner out. What you're going to have is a nice little combo here between the center and the right tackle on this 3 technique. The tackle's going to come down and bang this 3 technique, and they're going to try to bang him down into the center and then climb to the backside linebacker. In a perfect world, that's what happens. But a lot of times this 3 technique right here, this T is a dude. So sometimes this turns into just a straight double team, and they're going to expect the will to run over the top and make the play at least worst case scenario 5 yards down the field. Now you have your tight end who's also going to take a down path. He's going to take the first thing to show, which is typically the Mike linebacker. So typically the Mike linebacker who will fill. That's who the tight end is going to take. And unless this rover right here, unless this defensive end crosses his face, he's going to avoid him and try to get the near play side linebacker. All right, the guard is going to short pull and trap the end man on the line of scrimmage. All right, now it seems like all these guys would be playing downhill, right? And they're going to just stuff this right in the face. Well, you have this little motion right here, I call it dart motion. People call it tons of different things. Smoke motion, go, tear, tap, whatever to the tailback, right? They call it whatever motion. I call it dart motion, but he's gonna dart motion like he's running a bubble. So this is likely an RPO. They're going to read this Sam on leverage, right? And if this Sam comes down and there's a lot of space and this free safety can't get there, they're going to play leverage and throw it to this tailback out here in the flat. You got 2-on-1 on this corner with tons of space to the field, right? But this guy feathers with him before he redirects. He likes his run surface no matter what, so he's going to give it here. But you could read this, but it looks like you could read this, or you could give the illusion that you're reading this. Either way, it puts this Sam in a bind. And what it also does is it widens the Mike linebacker a step, so it makes that angle a little bit more vertical for the tight end. So it gives the Mike backer, gives the Will backer pause from coming downhill fast. Gives it to him. He's out the gate 1-on-1 with the safety if they can get this 3 technique block and they get a good kick. So 2 very, very good plays for Tim Beck that kind of just embody as a whole kind of what he does and what he creates with the run game, with motion and with formations, and putting guys in different places and getting guys to succeed. So this is just a very, very small picture of what to expect from Tim Beck in this Vandy offense. So when after this, we're going to come back. We're going to look at Nate Johnson a little bit more in depth. We're going to break down a couple of clips here of him in action, the viral clip of him against Florida. We're going to break down a couple things here next. All right. So this episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. So passion, drive, and patience. What brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level up to peak performance. From superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for with eBay Guaranteed Fit. Your part guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. And with parts that you need at prices that you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit. Only available to U.S. customers. eBay Motors. Do it. All right. So, welcome back. Thanks for making Locked On Vandy your first listen. Make sure you check out our people over at Locked On SEC. Check that out up next. Check out some Auburn stuff. They got some commits going. Check out our Locked On Huskers to go outside the network. They're going to probably talking about Dylan Raiola flipping from Georgia to Nebraska. That's a pretty huge story if you're a Georgia fan, and if you're a Nebraska fan, that's a pretty big story. You probably, one side probably really likes it, the other side probably really doesn't. So we are going to take a look. We're going to take a look at what Nate Johnson brings to the table. Now, a lot of people are saying, and a lot of the feedback is, well, he can't throw, he can't do this, he can't do that, right? So what you're going to see, I think, is a quarterback that is, I think he's going to be pretty useful at the college level. I think Tim Beck is going to do a tremendous job at using him and utilizing his talents. Now you see this is the viral clip right here that we're going to set up. Now this is the clip against Florida in the opener. You see Utah's coordinator does a similar job of getting him set up into a favorable formation. Now they probably didn't see him as much of a runner or as much of a complete quarterback as some should, but again, one person's junk is another person's treasure, right? One person's trash is another person's treasure. That's the saying, correct? So Nate Johnson, here's this clip. Here's what he can do in the run game. All right. So as we go, he's gonna fake right here. It's an RPO, right? So what you have right here is you have a 2x2 formation, correct? You have a tight end, you have a back here, you have a guy in motion, and you have a 3x1 formation. I should say you're going to have a 2x2. He's going to come in motion like a short jet motion, like he's going to kick out. He's going to run an arrow screen. We're going to inside zone it to the right. We're going to zone read this thing. It's a zone triple option as we go. So check this out. I love this formation. It brings kind of everything tight. Everybody's expecting run here to the 3-man side. We get motion, and here we are out the back gate. All right. So we get the ride fake. We get and just absolute pure athleticism right here, right? So as we break this thing down, so we get right here at the point of attack. So we get a wheel look right here. So you're going to come back and see this later on in the game. All right, I'm not going to break down the whole game, but you get your motion right here. They're going to run a wheel concept, so they're going to get out. They're going to clear all these people out. The next guy is going to come through like he's split zoning, right? And what split zone is him kicking out this defensive end. And I don't know if you can see my cursor moving in any of this, but you're going to see him kick out this defensive end. Now you got the zone read right here. He's going to shuffle down. All right. So we're going to pause it right here at the read. Okay. So he's probably thinking, he probably could have given this thing, to be honest with you, but he's probably thinking, okay, well, I can out leverage because I'm going to have 2-on-1 on this guy right here at the bottom of the screen. This inside linebacker, he's got run fit posture. He's fitting on the running back, looks like, with his shoulders and his posture. Nate Johnson's got his eyes directly right here on this edge guy. All right, his posture, this inside backer's posture right here, does not favor quarterback responsibility. So we pause it. We come on out. He tries to redirect, doesn't get it. Edge guy takes the RPO, opens a nice big hole right there for Nate Johnson to run through, and makes a guy miss, breaks an ankle, And now we're in the end zone for 6. All right. So those are big plays that Nate Johnson can give you. All right. Those are definite things that he can give you. And I'm very excited. You see our video right here is prominent right there in the next in the playlist. You got to love that. So what he does a good job of is, obviously he's enough of a threat in the RPO game to be able to throw this, and this tight end is enough of a threat to take him seriously. But what happens is this hole gets opened up, right? And you got one-on-one with a safety and not much else deep. I like my chances here, right? Boom, breaks his ankles, and boom, look at the finish. Love the finish, love him finishing the run. This guy has a lot of promise. I'm not sure what Utah was thinking in letting this guy go. So you look at him, his teammates love him, right? They're going to celebrate. 27-yard touchdown run, right? So the RPO is going to be a huge factor as well. It's got to be in the G scheme clip that I showed you. That's got to be a huge part of it as well. I'm going to stop my screen share here, but yeah, it's exciting, man, and I think there's going to be a lot of promise here with what Nate Johnson can provide. That's just one clip of many. And in the future episodes, we'll kind of look through. Well, actually, you know what? We'll do that right now. We'll do that right now. We're going to pause for just a second. We're going to come back, and I'm going to show you some clips of him against Baylor. Now, Nate Johnson, I should say, had 3 starts, appeared in 4 games before redshirting, made starts in 3 of them. Kyle Whittingham thought him well enough to be able to start in 3 of those. We're going to take a look at some of his clips from the matchup against Baylor right after this. Insert ads. Okay, and we are back. So welcome back. We're going to take a look at Nate Johnson versus Baylor. Now, before we do that, I know the sidebar here says that we're going to talk about Tyler Fortenberry. We're going to definitely get to that. We may push that, right? Tyler Fortenberry, JUCO tight end, former quarterback himself, big, long target. We're going to break down his film in future episodes. Early signing day is tomorrow. We're going to take a look at all the guys that are signing and take a look at all the guys that are coming in. So we're going to kind of break him down. So we're going to break down some of the college transfers a little bit more in depth. And we're going to take a look at some of these guys. So if I don't quite get to Tyler Fortenberry, apologies. And then, of course, men's basketball tonight, 6:00, Western Carolina. Hope to get back on track. Not likely, I don't know, but who knows. So coming back to our new QB1. All right, so we're going to share our screen right here. So as we look, we're going to take a look at him against Baylor. Now, you look, it's a similar formation here with this right here. So you got 3-by-1. It's a little bit more of a spread out 3-by-1 look. And so you are, when you look at it here, you have, it's an unbalanced set. So you have a threat of a jet sweep here on the boundary side. He's off the ball. 2 guys have got to be on the other side. So here we go. So looks like we're going to have a jet power read to the field. We're going to try to get numbers. All right. So we get our jet motion right here, token fake, and we're off. So what I really like about this play, all right, let's rewind it to the start. You got your jet motion right here, all right? Now, albeit it's token fake, these guys on the back end, these linebackers don't know. They see him go in motion. He's run jet sweep so many times. Watch the linebacker's posture here when he runs, right? They're going to trigger, all right? They're going to trigger. And they have to think just for a minute. Now, they've probably seen this on film a lot. So this Mike linebacker is actually going to fold back underneath, right? They've got it snuffed out, but it doesn't matter, right? Big play here. Great play on 1st and 10, all right? Good play design here. You have your guard folding around. It's a jet counter. I wish your back would have led into the hole and give yourself a chance. I think if you get a clean block on this corner, you probably get at least a first down. So 21, if we get a clean block on 21, we've got a really nice running lane right here, right up the seam. Our next guy's our free safety. Going to make the play at 10 yards down the field. I'll take a chain mover here. All right. So we go to our next play. All right. We got 2nd and 9, 4th quarter. We got a 3-by-1 formation essentially into the boundary. All right. Formation essentially into the boundary. So here's our situation. You're down 6. A split zone read. And you're just going to go make the play, right? So we're going to pause on the read. Let's see how good he is at reading it, right? So so there's the read. All right. It's a zone option where we're going to wrap around here. And your read key ends up getting blocked. So you feel like you can get leverage. You got a great athlete here. He gets leverage, gets to the edge. So this, like I said, he's going to bring some exciting things to the table. I know I'm kind of dancing around my take here a little bit, but he's going to bring a lot to the table with Nate Johnson. I'm really kind of excited about what he brings and the athleticism that he can deliver. All right. Here's another play, 3rd and short. You just have an all out. No bones about it. Quarterback counter. And he's going to go get it. All right. Here's the throw. All right. So we got 2nd 15, late 4th quarter, down 6. Got the ball deep in your own territory. You're at the looks like minus 17, 2nd and 15. You got a nice 2-by-2 look. Nice poise there in the pocket to deliver. Great route here by number 0. This is a great shake route. Boom. Right there. Sticks that guy in the mud. Nate Johnson delivers a great ball here. Poise all together, situation, things like that. First down. We love to see that. All right. So now we get our jet read again, coming back to it, our jet counter. Same play we saw from the opening play. All right. We've got jet counter. Here we go again. So now these guys are triggered by the jet. The linebackers are spying and keying on Nate Johnson. But boom, right here, 2nd 11, we get ourselves into a 3rd and manageable here with the jet motion. So he's such a danger running the ball that, you get a little bit of window dressing. He's going to cause some problems, right? Next play, under center, pro styles, right? Under center. So you got a nice little bunch formation here, deep tailback. We're gonna bootleg this thing out, and we're gonna fire this thing on the run. Now, what I love about this is not only you have a guy right here that's a runner, but he's playing from under center here, and this shows a lot of versatility for a guy like Nate Johnson because he's a young guy, probably has rarely gone under center in his entire football career. He's been put your athlete back there and run the ball, right? But what I love about this play is that he has the poise. Delivers a strike, got a guy barreling down in his grill, delivers a strike on first down late in the 4th quarter as they're driving, takes a huge shot, gets punished, right? So we're going to finish this drive, okay? So we get 1st and 10, late 4th quarter. You got 2-by-2 here, passing situation now. They know you got to pass. Double slant, poise, delivers, number 0. Took a big shot there. Zero is a good player here. Let's watch this again, right? He knows where he wants to go. He's staring it down a little bit. I don't love that, but again, great ball, great concept, great call. Here we go. All right. We're going to come right back to it. He's got to get this ball down, though. Like if we got to work on his footwork a little bit in the throwing game, especially the quick game. He's got to get this ball down. He's going to get his boy killed here. Surprised he didn't already, but great poise, great delivery. Again, just got to deliver it on him. Now, to cap off the drive, we're gonna plow this thing ahead. Quarterback counter, the 3rd and short play here. You got 3rd and goal. You got to have it. Where do we go? We go quarterback. We go quarterback counter, right? We go quarterback counter for 6. Boom, flex the muscles. Here we go. All right, here we go. So, Vandy fans should see this and should get excited about what they're going to see out of Nate Johnson and Tim Beck, because you're going to see a lot of that, a lot of imaginative stuff, a lot of passing games similar to what Utah was doing. Now we're going to go a couple of minutes over here because, hey, we broke down some film today. So to wrap up, Tim Beck, going to be exciting. Varies it up, mixes it up, does a great job with motions, formations, and personnel alignments, getting guys open, creating space. We got a great job from Nate Johnson, just kind of mixing it up, had a lot of poise, does a lot of different things, runs really, really well, just has a lot of patience, a lot of, like I said, the word of the day is poise for Nate Johnson. Has a lot of poise, a lot of that against a very, very, very good Baylor defense. So Tyler Fortenberry, big weapon, JUCO tight end. We'll talk about him more on the next episode But when we see you guys again, it's going to be early signing day. So we're going to wrap up that. We're going to tell you who we got, who we still have to look forward to in the February signing period. And we'll break down what happened on the hardwood against Western Carolina a little bit. Maybe later in the week, maybe we'll try to do a little weekend preview for basketball and as we get closer to conference tournament, or not conference tournament, but conference play. So, but that's going to do it here for the Locked On Vandy podcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Find us on social media at Coach Burton 36, at Locked On Vandy on the X, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Happy early signing day eve. It is the Locked On Vandy podcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Anchor down.